can speak only to those that are awoken. For those that haven't realized that there's a serious problem on this equation of planet Earth. What direction is it going? It's not a good one. You know, I've chose to live under this tree for the last few months to seek shelter from a different source. I'm empowered. I'm like in this womb. I'm in this, under this tree. And it's amazing quiet in the forest. And I've discovered some things, a lot of things, that I had to let go, that were holding me back from experiencing bliss with the brain breathing. There's a certain bliss that happens in the body when you breathe into the brain and oscillate the tissues. And when you get it right and your jaw's relaxed, your whole body becomes a different being. You see, I think we have like two bodies. One's under tension, the other one's relaxed. One's male, one's female. And if we can breathe into that and catch up with ourselves, we can slowly stop the swinging pendulum of the breath to where it sits and abides in pleasure, abides in its own connection. See, there's a lot of things in the way of you feeling a connection with yourself and your brain. It's been what we've been stuffing down our pie hole, eating all the time and digesting, that stuffs our emotions and our breathing so that we can't really feel and understand here. This is how we've been hijacked in this society, this addictive society that has been spoon-feeding us from birth and getting us on this addictive path. See, why this whole path is very difficult is there's too many temptations on the path in some ways that most people can't conquer. They have to get out of the kitchen. They have to get out of the house, out of the neighborhood, and move somewhere that represents life, that represents less suffering and more living and breathing healthy air. So, do you want to get out? You can get out with a choice, but you have to leave a lot behind that you've accumulated that you thought was necessary to protect your egoic security empire of environmental trash that you've gathered around yourself. Have you thought about how much stuff's just made of plastic? Just junk, and we just like hermit crabs. Yeah, life can be a disappointment when you realize that you've been kicking your own ass your whole life. You've been working harder for the man, and they've been taking it away so you can go work again. You see, I'm an artist, so whatever I do is out of pleasure, out of play. Otherwise, I don't do anything at all. I just sit and observe the breath and realize that I'm in heaven already. See, if you can realize you're already in heaven, the best we can here on this earth, and surrender into it, you can be happy as a clam. You can be so happy sitting in your bath of pure air and in the wilds. So I encourage people to go out and get in the wilds. Enjoy this day like it's your last. It could be your last, right? Yeah, life can be a disappointment when you're thinking about the world and paying attention to it. All the news and the pain and suffering that goes on there. So, with each video I try to share with people one important thing that I do to keep my energy up and also to continue to heal and purify. So, this is a 300-year-old Tibetan medicine singing bowl. And the magnets on the bottom. What's going on here? I had an experience. My friend banged this one time for 2 minutes straight, just kept banging it, and gave me a sip of the water. and I about jumped out of my skin. I mean, it rang in throughout my whole body. I was jing, I was jing, I was jing. So, told you I'd give you some secrets with every video so that you would follow along, that each one of these that you do will drastically change your evolution. So you're drinking water out of a container, out of a can, wherever it came from, who knows where it is, it's it needs to be aligned. So all water can be changed dramatically with just a vibration, right? With the sound, you know that. So what I do is I take that and I pour it into my glass that I developed, a magnetic glass. This is a crude representation of a magnetic glass. So the water sits in there, and then it gets rung, so it's like a bell, and then it gets put in here and let sit for hours and hours. So it gets magnetically charged from the bottom, sides, and side. And I do it in such a way that when that water's been sitting there, it just sits. And as soon as you put it in your body, it gets active. It wants to go somewhere where positive and negative want to interact. So the water is crucial. You know that, water is crucial. So might as well drink the magnetic water. And you'll notice it slides right up your tongue. It's not sticky. It's elevated. It's light. It's been singing. It's been ringing. So the water has changed my life. It could change yours. You take your magnets and you put them on a glass, shape them, and get yourself a singing bowl. It will change your life. When you start drinking this every day, all day, all of a sudden, everything that's out of tune, you'll realize you're ringing at a different vibration than the other people, environment, places, things, and you won't be attracted to lower vibrations. You won't even be interested in doing something that's a negative to your body, like something that you know that your body will react to, more that you're allergic to, but you just love it because the craving's there. When you put higher vibrational things in, the vibration will be like, I'm no longer aligned to that, and you'll just overcome the Oreo cookies on the way down the whatever. The point is, anything that you're attracted to or desire that leaves you from your sitting position and drives you out to get it is a parasite within the mind, body, and oracle. So we've got to work on our oral hygiene, and digestive hygiene, and get clear with the inner soul that wants to live and vibrate in the temple of God. So it has to be pure. That's why the spiritual path is a disciplined path that rests on discipline. Because when you know it's not a free-for-all down here, and it's everything's a waste of time, and you already have it, but you got to have it, you got to feel it. To feel it, you got to breathe into it, my friends. Now, I would really enjoy to sit here for a half hour with you and just breathe, just work on our sounding like a horse, sounding like an animal. But what we're doing actually is creating a song that we appreciate hearing and feeling through our blood pressure, vibrating our body so that we get more joy. That's the whole reason we're doing this brain breathing, is to create so much joy that our body's just dripping with the sound of, you start drinking this water, that'll get you right on the path. You'll all of a sudden be, ringing like a bell, ringing like. That's why it's crucial to have these